Y'all, this one has been in the news quite a bit. And it is my guy, Shannon Sharpe. Now, I like Shannon Sharpe. I do. I did. I do. And we got to talk about him. But before we talk about him, I want to be really clear about this, right? So let's back up. Shannon Sharpe has been accused of rape in a civil suit. He's being sued for $50 million. And it's three incidences, I believe, that he's being accused of rape. He says it was a consensual sexual relationship. He's 58. The young lady was 19 when the relationship started. Okay. He stepped away from ESPN to handle this. He hopes to be back for the preseason. He denies any accusations of sexual misconduct, sexual assault, rape, all of that. And so I want to talk about this, but we're going to do so carefully because there's kind of two ways I want to talk about this. First, I want to acknowledge that Black men have often been falsely accused of sexual misconduct, of particularly rape, particularly by white women and women who pass as white. And I can't tell what the young lady's ethnicity is. I'm not sure. She's not going to be mistaken as a Black woman, that's for sure. But that's neither here nor there. That's a historical fact, and it's something that we need to consider, and we need to acknowledge. That being said, by and large, women don't lie about being sexually assaulted. So my tendency is to believe women, right? There's also another layer. This accuser's lawyer is Tony Busby. Now, if you don't know who Tony Busby is, he is pretty much a slimeball. My opinion, he's a slimeball. He's the one most recently has been in the news because he represented Jay-Z's accuser. And Jay said, nah, right? Like, let's get to it. And that accuser has retracted, said, yeah, nah, that wasn't it, because Jay presented all kinds of evidence that this wasn't true, right? And so I got side-eye for anybody who's rocking with Tony Busby, to be perfectly honest, right? And all of those things can exist at the same time. And none of that is what I actually want to talk about tonight. What I would like to talk about tonight is the fact that this 58-year-old grown-ass man was having a sexual relationship with a 19-year-old teenager. And she's a teenager, 19, right? He has daughters older than this girl, right? And I want to talk about what that is. I just been railing on white men, right? Talking about the harm and the hurt that exists within white men. And there's a real particular and unique harm that comes with whiteness for us, for white men, that we need to deal with and heal from in order to move fully human and not cause harm in the space. But there's also a harm that comes with sexism and patriarchy and toxic masculinity that, while looks different in communities of color, is no less harmful. And the need for therapy for men is overwhelming. And regardless of these allegations, what happens with these allegations, one thing that's not being contested is that he had a sexual relationship with this child. And she is a child. She's 19. You can't even buy her a drink legally. Brain hasn't been developed. Prefrontal cortex is not developed. None of those things. And it's weird that is attractive. And then you add in, my man has smoked for lots of people with big age gaps. And let me be clear. I'm not necessarily against big age gaps. I'm against teenagers dating fully grown people, right? And this would be exactly the same if we flipped it. I'm against that. I won't care if it's a 19-year-old boy and a 58-year-old woman. I'm that's weird to me. There's something there that we need to look at, that we need to heal from, because it's just not okay. And I want to encourage men to take a look at that, man, to really take a look at that. What's going on there? We gotta take some real serious stock. We gotta have conversations with our boys about things. When we hear things, it starts with the jokes in the locker room. It's all over, right? It's just like, um this ain't really what this ain't where it's at. This is not where it's at all. And so yeah, I hope that we figure out what's going on, and that we make some moves towards healing. Uh the best thing we could do is make some moves towards healing. So yeah, that's where we're at, people. That's where we're at. I see some